My name is Kristen Fix. I work at the Mid-Columbia Economic Development District, which is in the Mid-Columbia region of Oregon. We cover Hood River, Wasco, Sherman counties in Oregon, and then Klickitat and Skamania counties in Washington. My role here is officially called an industry engagement project manager, which I think is a fancy way of saying that I sort of I'm a catch-all for a bunch of clusters of different industries that are really relevant here in the region. One of the major things I do is I'm the staff member for the Gorge Tech Alliance, and then also related some rural capacity work and some economic resilience work here in the region. We have some monies coming in to focus on innovation and really making the Gorge a place that people want to come and start their businesses and keep their businesses here and grow tech and fermentation and food and beverage manufacturing and all those sort of overlapping growing industries.
So it sounds like you sort of sit in the middle of all that growth, where everything's coming together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they sort of seem siloed a little bit, but once you sort of step back and start doing the work, it's all about connecting people, connecting them with resources, and really promoting the region. So that's very cool.
So you mentioned the Gorge Tech Alliance and that you are the staffer for that organization. Can you tell me more about that?
Yeah, so the Gorge Tech Alliance, it's a very cool nonprofit organization. It was founded in 2005, sort of when not definitely tech wasn't new, but we were seeing that tech was really booming in this region. In situ is located here, and they're one of the major players in the uncrewed aerial systems industry. And so lots of small tech companies have shot off of that, and then more people have just continued to come here. It's a beautiful area. So it's kind of like, we're going to be doing tech anyways. Why don't we do it in a place that we love to live and that it's gorgeous outside? But yeah, so the group was founded to just network and support businesses and the folks in those industries as they came here and just continue to grow and learn from each other. I think right now we have about 120 members and sponsors, ranging everywhere from single associate people who maybe have two startups with two people, all the way up to, like I said, in situ Google data center, which is in the Dalles, Oregon. So we have businesses all along that spectrum, which is a really cool aspect of it. We're a trade association. We're 501(c)(6), and a really cool aspect of the association is that we have those sort of bigger players that are still at the table that really want to continue to support tech and innovation and make this region known for that. And then we have the people who, are just getting started, or maybe they're a few years old, but they really are just a 2 or 5 person show. And the saying that rising tides raise all ships, something like
Yeah.
that. That's
Yeah.
the thing. Um, but yeah, so having all of those people at the table and having a voice is really, I think, unique, and it allows us to keep offering more benefits and to keep being really relevant for those tech companies that want to come here, want to continue to grow.
Mhm. And how do you do that? Like, how does the Gorge Tech Alliance serve, companies with such a range in size? Like, what do you offer them?
Yeah, I mean, that's something. So I'm pretty new to this role. I guess I should have said on the top, I'm like 7 weeks into this role. We have lots of events. We do a couple of parties every year to just really thank people for participating. And then we do things like geek lunches at a Chinese restaurant every month to just get a bunch of geeks in a room talking about what they're working on or cool innovations happening. And then we do things at sort of higher level, like the tech showcase, which I'll talk about, and then we have a CEO excellence forum. We do some scholarships and STEM work in the schools here. And so I think at those levels, some of those bigger companies can be really involved because they do have the person power to to have mentors, or they do have the time or the resources to really continue to foster the importance of STEM education and robotics and bringing new and younger and underserved populations into tech and engineering and that whole realm. And then at the sort of smaller end of our memberships, those people get the opportunity to sit at the table with folks who have been doing it for 40 years
Yeah.
with a multi-million dollar budget. And some of it's access. I mean, with my other roles in innovation and economic resilience, I can also connect some of those smaller companies to, or the entrepreneurs, to some of the resources that we have for growing businesses. So
Mhm.
that's kind of a cool overlap.
Yeah, yeah, that would be incredibly valuable, trying to access, some of those larger companies to even, network with them and maybe even find that mentor, right, for a smaller company, I think is a huge deal, and you can't just pick up the phone and call someone on LinkedIn, right? Like, that doesn't work.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's again, that's kind of one of the things that I'm really excited about. Uh, I joke with my supervisor, Carrie. I'm like, I'm still that sparkle-eyed person that's like, let's do all of the things and make everything exciting and beautiful and accessible. And
Yeah.
but one of the things I talk a lot about is just what are those kind of tangible benefits and being able to pick up the phone and say, I'm a GTA member, you're a GTA member.
Yeah.
Can we get together and work on something versus cold calling off of LinkedIn is pretty
Yeah.
significant.
Yeah, as a business owner myself, I know like networking is so important. Like the value you get, you never know what the return's going to be, and it can often take years before you realize that that relationship was built because I showed up to this event on a day where I didn't feel like it, right? And
Right.
down the road, it could be like a game changer and so building those authentic relationships and having, a Gorge Tech Alliance there to set the table, I think that is definitely a tangible value add. So I mean, I definitely see that value. And
Good. Yeah.
yeah, I am curious to learn more about that tech showcase you mentioned because I haven't participated in one yet. So I'm eager to learn more about it.
I haven't either. So
We can learn
um
together. What do you know?
absolutely. So this year is going to be pretty unique, and it's exciting to be coming in at this time. So AUVSI, which is the Association for Unmanned Vehicle Systems International. I just learned that.
Well
They
done.
they have regional chapters, and so they have a Cascade chapter that represents the Pacific Northwest, and they do. It's a wide range of, or a wide geographic area. And this year, they just so happen to be doing their fall event in Hood River. So we have the opportunity to combine and collaborate their fall symposium with the tech showcase. So the tech showcase, really what that is, it's always been an evening event. It's been an opportunity for us to thank our sponsors for the year, to provide this hour or so of networking. Again, just to be, it's after work, you didn't want to go that day, but you happen to be standing around having, a beer or something with someone, and you had made this connection, and all of a sudden it can spin your business off in a new direction. And
Mhm.
then we invite about 5 to 8 members or sponsors, again, like different size, people who have been in business for a couple years, businesses that have been around for a decade or more. And they just, it's a panel, they just give a quick kind of overview of what they're making, anything new and exciting that they're working on, talk about any job opportunities. So it's a really cool, we invite students and people who are new to the area to, attend at discounted rates so that they can really get in front of those folks who are hiring.
Mhm.
And this year, so far, we have just a couple. I'll talk about the date in a second. It's coming up next month. We have a couple people signed on, but I'm excited because it's someone doing, you know, data center work. It's someone doing insulated glass manufacturing. It's someone doing work sort of in the engineering, like consultation kind of work. And so it's not just, I think AUVSI as an organization is very much about drones and uncrewed vehicles. So that portion will be during the day. And then at night, you can come to the tech showcase and get more diverse, very gorge centric look at kind of what's going on.
Mm.
So that is on September 28th in Hood River. The symposium will run from 12 to 5 during the day. And then at 5, we'll shift to kind of the networking and the tech showcase portion, all in that one space. So it is just a day. Historically, their symposium's been a day and a half, but we kind of try to dwindle it down to be more focused and also to be financially accessible. The registration hasn't opened up yet, but it will this week. So yeah, we're pretty excited to welcome people from the whole AUVSI Cascade chapter to
Yeah.
Hood River is very cool as well.
Yeah, and what is the site in Hood River? What's the location?
It's called the Best Western Hood River in Best Western Plus. It's like right down on the river. It's a cool spot.
Yeah, that's a nice spot.
I know. Yeah, no. So it's good, and we're the keynote speaker is going to be Justin Pierce, who is the vice president of engineering for In Situ. So that's a really cool score for us. Someone who's doing that work at In Situ is kind of the known name here, that lots of other businesses have spun off of or people have sort of started at and created their own company. So it's going to be cool to hear him talk. And I think it'll draw a big crowd of folks from that company that might otherwise not, have come or taken the day off or whatever it is. So
Sure.
we're really excited about it.
Yeah. So if someone was interested, maybe someone listening has a tech company and they haven't applied to be part of the showcase, is it too late to do so? Is that all closed up?
No, not at all. Yeah, the information to do that is both on our site and the AUVSI Cascade chapter site. Lori is the woman that I'm working with over there, but I'd be happy to share that information with you and someone's listening, you can somehow let them.
Yeah, we can include it in the show notes.
Okay.
Have
Yeah,
that
that's
link.
great.
Yeah.
I did want to mention because I've mentioned Google a couple of times.
Mhm.
They're one of our premier sponsors, which we're super appreciative of because it's Google and they don't need to be part of the Gorge Tech Alliance, but here they are, showing up and um, uh, the Google data centers. They're usually located in rural areas throughout the country. I meant to look up how many there are, but I did not do that. In the communities that they're located in, they have these community grants programs where they give back to those communities, and they're small grants from $5,000 to $50,000. And the areas that they focus on are like broadband technology, education, economic opportunities, sustainability, arts and culture. So it's a really vast,
Mhm.
they're not just showing up and saying, we're only going to give these grants to tech. They really want to
Mhm.
foster and support the communities that they're a part of.
Yeah.
And so those are open right now. And I guess for the listeners, I just wanted to say that like there's some very cool things that I'm looking into, both with my Gorge Tech hat on and then also just the local rural economic resilience and capacity building out here. So I'm talking with someone after this about um, this arts program that they're trying to like get some research to get some data about all of the regional art centers, and
Mhm.
then I'm talking to someone else about possibly continuing to grow our Gorge Women in STEM program,
Mhm.
which is part of the Gorge Tech Alliance. Yeah, so there's just very cool things that it's pleasing to know that when
Yeah.
Google data centers go into your community, it's not just this sort of castle on a hill. They really are trying to like be part of the community and continue to just grow innovation and
Yeah.
creativity.
Yeah, and I think they also included like entrepreneurs resources and entrepreneur development, like startup stuff in that as well. So that
Yeah.
is really cool. I'll have that in the show notes as well, link to that. And I think it closes in September. I want to say like 19th or
I-
somewhere
yeah, I think it's
somewhere
the
in that
17th or the
ballpark.
19th.
I'll have that as well. But yeah, I'm glad that you called that out.
Yeah, I don't think there's much else. We have some like cool events coming up in September. Again, like in the show notes, anyone can reach out to me, whether it's about Tech Showcase or just the Gorge Tech Alliance or what I do for fun. Um, but we like the geek lunches are coming back. We do have the Gorge Tech Alliance has a subcommittee that's Gorge Women in STEM, which is very, very rad that we have that in such a small region.
Mhm.
They're having their fall party the 22nd of September, and that's at Sigma Designs in Camas. So I'm really excited. A lot of the Gorge Tech Alliance members are very much in Hood River
Mhm.
or the White Salmon, Washington area. And so
Yeah.
those folks that are sort of outliers, I'm always pleased to go check out their spot and meet more people.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think just we are doing a lot of very cool stuff outside of just like sitting down in a room and listening to people talk. There's fun things that we're
Sure.
doing too.
Sure. Yeah, it sounds like it. I love the geek lunches. That sounds like a lot of fun. And do you have like an events calendar on your webpage?
Yeah, yeah. So our webpage is when the Gorge Tech Alliance was originally formed, it was called the Columbia River Gorge Tech Alliance. Very wordy. So the website is crgta.org.
Okay.
And right on the homepage, there's an events calendar where everything's at.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I'll definitely link to that. I appreciate your time and I appreciate you bringing these resources to the community.
Yeah. Thanks so much for having me. I appreciate it too.